Okay, there we go. Hello, everybody, especially Elite Unit, who got here right as I started the stream up. Thank you for joining. And today, well, the first thing I want to do is I want to pick up where I left off last Wednesday, which is getting the viewer list to save to a file, not just as a backup, but as a way to save it. Pop filter a little bit there, sorry. So, not only in case of bot failing, but you can actually then save the viewer lists between sessions. Of course, very important. And would be weird not to have. Would not make it a very useful bot. So, have this here. This is my... I remember why I didn't do this last time, now that I look at this again. So, if I, specifically me, as the stream owner, which I really need to change how that functions, but if my account types in exclamation point close, it starts closing out the bot. It will do things like it'll say goodbye to the channel, and then it prints out close to the terminal. It runs the disconnect function, which actually is what logs it out of Twitter, of IRC. And then it cancels all of the scheduled tasks I have. So, what I need to do is scroll up. This viewer save state, I need to run that as a thread that is probably not a scheduled task, because I need this to actually once and then save everything, and that way I don't have to worry about it again. So I don't totally know how to do that offhand. So let me open up a thing here. Then Java run thread. Got my public void run. Oh. So it might just be this. Public class implements runnable. Save state. Oh, so this extends timer tab. If I can even do this. Implements runnable. Extends thread. Invoke thread.start in order. Timer task is if I'm not mistaken, what was that? Oh. Our dinner just beeped. That's what I was at. No, that's fine. All right. So this extends timer task. A timer task, if I'm not mistaken, is a type of thread. So I bet, know for a fact, I bet I can do. I can call it with Oh. Monitor failure. Let me plug that in a little harder. Oh, monitor. There it goes. All right. I need a new secondary monitor at some point, that's for sure. All right. So what was I looking at? Here's my helper bot. Here's my thread. It extends timer task. Just like this extends thread. So I wonder if I can just do this. My main bot, like right. No. down here. There. Instead of new hello thread, it's doing right. All right, it's just the parentheses are setting it off a little bit. Can probably do viewer save state. Let's do that. Oh, hello, Daffodil. Murr. What's this? That's a scratch on the table. You can't scratch that. It's not a thing. Hello, fabulous Tarek. Good lord. Sorry, that took me a second. It's good to see you. Welcome to the stream. We're working on saving the viewers list first, so that when you close the bot out and you start up the next time, it starts where it left off. Oh, hello. You are being so antsy tonight. One of my cats is crawling around on my table. Come here. Lure her over a little. No. Right here. No? I'm just gonna rub the corner of my. Okay, so let's start. Oh. Hi. I can't. She's bugging the camera. There we go. All right. That was Daffodil. She's our orange cat. Okay, so I don't know if this is going to work. Let's see if it even compiles. No, okay. Provide a runnable object. The runnable interface defines a single method, run, meant to contain code execution thread. Okay, so the runnable object is. I mean, I want to do both of these. Which I suspect, it's been so long that I can do that I've done Java classes. I suspect I can do both an extend and an implements. I'm worried that the two of them will conflict. I guess my other option would be to set a scheduled task, have it run immediately, and then set a really long down the road kind of time. Run it now, 100 milliseconds, run it, and then run it the next time at 200 seconds, and then just immediately cancel it afterwards. So that's. I imagine that wouldn't stop it from running if it's currently running, but I don't know that for a fact. Which, of course, I have such a small viewer base that wouldn't make a difference either way, so I could try it. Let's try this first, though. This might hate me. Oh, okay, it didn't. That was fine. Let's try this. Do I actually need the start function? It's blank. Oh, I need to. Oh, because I'm not extending thread. I'm implementing runnable, so I need to do new thread runnable. Okay, try this. All right. new thread symbol. I find what? Might just be over. Provide a runnable object. Runnable interface implements run. Extends timer task. Implements run. All right. Which of these idioms should you use? The first idiom, which employs the runnable object, is more general because the can subclass a class other than thread. The second idiom is easier. Simple application limited to the fact the task must be descendant of thread. Lesson focus separates the runnable task from the implements runnable. Need any like extra input? Got a public void run. Yep, public void. Can take anything. I wonder if like of these matters. Well, why can't you find some? All right. Basically going to copy this. Do this. Run. Let's do 100 milliseconds. And then let's leave this at 1,000 seconds later. That. Set false. That's to save the status of people watching. Why does that work? This is a timer. This is really awkward. I'm not a big fan of doing this. This is one of those times where it's like I'm not entirely sure this is how I should be doing it. In fact, this is probably not how I should be doing it. But at the same time, I don't feel like playing with this right now. So this should save the status of all of my viewers, put it to my viewers file, and then not run again because it's sold immediately. Hopefully these two don't conflict. Which again, we probably won't see here, but I were to let this run on a bigger channel, let's say it was trying to save 1,000 viewers, it might not complete before it gets canceled. In fact, even in this, it might not, but we'll see. Okay, so let's see, what's this doing? This is using. I want to start getting my times set up right. So my message pump, the stuff that prints out any messages I need the bot to print out, only runs every 7 seconds. The two exceptions to that are saying hello and goodbye to the channel. The user tracking starts at 6 seconds, then runs every minute. Okay, good. This right? That's 60 seconds. This needs to be every 10 minutes. So let's just take that and minutes. That might have been what it just was a second ago, but let's certain. It starts at 10 seconds. Okay. Yeah, it starts at 10 seconds, and then every 10 minutes afterwards, it runs. That's what that is. Let's just get rid of that. All right. I think this is all garbage. Yeah. That was built to try and test method of getting the users and updating them, and it didn't function. Start cleaning some of this up. The settings is still a mess. Initialize viewers is a mess. Although it's not as much of a mess as I thought. This can go away. Let's get rid of some of this blank space here. Let's save this first, because this was causing me some problems last time. I'm not sure why, but when I backspace part of that line out, my whole page went funky. You always save those. And this is a little big, but there's not much I can really remove. This is, why is that 2 tabs? There we go. I like having all my tabs, all my indents line up. What can I say? All right. Okay, not the cleanest method. What I would like to do is have this set up so that I can run it as its own thread instead of scheduling another thread, running it. This is something I'll put a note in here that I should probably come back to this. Try and get this to run with its own thread, just so I can come back to it and see if I can get this to work a little more properly. I might even have to, unfortunately, create a new class that just does this for saving the view, which is odd to me. But at the same time, if it functions, it's fine. Okay. So yeah, that said, blah. Close all this out. File it. And give it a run. Okay. A little worried that I have my camera. You miss one arrow between viewer save state and the Twitch view. Anyway. Just realized something. This is only saving to the backup file. String let's just call it the file name. I'm just worried about giving it the name file name, having that being reserved word. String TMP file name. And then we can do the file name, get all our capitalizations right. Oh man, I'm terrible. Temp file name. That'll be our file name. So now instead of this, I can backspace that. And then do that. Should be fine. Oh, I need to replace it there too. Otherwise my error catch will error, which doesn't help anybody. And that should be fine. So now that I've updated that, now I need to pass it the names of the files. In this case, this would be let's do lowercase viewers.txt. This guy up here. Let's do backup.txt. Okay. bus. I just want to get my folder up so I can watch the dates on. Take a look at them too. So here's my viewers file. Here's my backup file. Now in this case, they're both the same because the first backup runs before all of the current viewers are received. Twitch doesn't let you run a who command on a channel so you can actually get all of the current viewers. At least not from my experience. There might be some way to do it, but I'm not messing around with it because they're trying to deprecate that function. What they do provide is about a minute after you join a channel, you will get a spam of hello again cat of join messages for everybody that's in the channel. So in my case, that's only like I haven't played around with it enough to find out if you're in like a 20,000 person channel, if it does all 20,000. I do want to try that out. I'm not there yet. I need to, first of all, because I need to talk to somebody that has a 20 channel. And secondly, because I don't think the bot's in a really good place for that. So, excuse me. So, anyway, I'm going to make copies of these so I can compare them. Copy, backup, and viewers. All right, that was easy. Just so I can make sure that it did something. All right. Second. There's the bot saying hello to channel. Where is my terminal? There it is. Just a second. So I'm going to let this run for a minute because I need it to receive those join messages. It does a backup immediately, which I guess I could slow down, but I kind of like, at least for now, allowing this to kind of run. And you can see here's no messages found. This is running every 7 seconds. I'll give it a message to kind of print out points. All right, so there we go. I have 20 points. I'm going to wait until that, and then there's the message that gets. Still waiting for these join messages. I do have it set up to, I believe, to print out when it receives them. Balls. No, I don't. Took that out. Well then. Oh, wait, there it is. Okay, so we have our full user list here, and this is all from the join command that this fires off. And you can see it added in Fabulous Tarek and Elite Unit. You two weren't in that list before. Oh, hey. Love T Heat. Thank you for following. I appreciate that. You must have done that right after my bot received everybody. Of course, I don't have it printing. Where does this fire from? Pull this over here. I can keep watching it. So this is set. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, so that's every minute. Okay. Okay. It got it. Got everybody. Picked them all up. It set them all equal to true, which means you're watching the channel currently. If one of you leaves, it should set you to false, which I'm not. I'm not holding any of you to staying here. This is just for my own tracking purposes. But now that I have some things, its bot's clearly functioning. Let's close it out. By the channel, closed. Okay. I'm going to close that. I'm going to reset my. Okay. Folder. Okay. So, Yeah, my backup didn't go because. No, that's interesting. My whoa. Screen again. It didn't save my viewers. Didn't put it to a different file either. It just didn't do anything. So Elite Units asks, can only the channel owner have the bot join the chat room, or could I have a random bot join this channel? To my knowledge, Elite Unit, as long as your bot has a valid password and you can give it the channel name, it can go wherever you like. So I could turn this on anybody's chat room, is my understanding. Like, I didn't have to sign anything or say, this is my bot. This is just do this. Again, that's my understanding. Did that not save the viewer list? I'm going to comment this out. It might be canceling it as it's running, since it's right next in the list here. I'm going to presume that's what it's doing. Might mean that it might be good to put a wait in, I suppose. So Elite Unit asks, so you could make a bot that goes to channels, get usernames, and sends them spam. You absolutely could. I don't recommend it. I would rather you didn't, obviously, and if you absolutely decide you have to, please don't quote me on on the source of information for that, because I mean, programming is like any knowledge. You can use it for good or bad. And Twitch spam comes from somewhere. That's totally possible. That's what's going on. I don't do it. I would never recommend doing it. I would completely recommend against doing it. But I wouldn't be surprised if people do that. So he says, I was wondering because I have gotten a lot of spam from big name channels. Well, yeah, I don't doubt that. Like, it's an easy way for people to get a lot of viewers that they can just send garbage out to. And don't worry, I don't have any reason to do it. I appreciate that, but I wanted to say it for anybody watching. You could totally create a bot that just goes from channel to channel, or you give it channel names, and it reads in everybody. And then you can feed that to another system, or even probably the same system. Then you can send out messages to all people. It's way easier than you would think, actually. Because actually, you could even do it through, if you didn't feel like dealing with IRC, if you could find the page that Twitch uses that actually displays the user list, you could just do a get on that page, suck that page down, read the names out of it, and send it out. You don't even need the Twitch bot. You could do it with a lot of things. Hope isn't enough information for people to do it, and again, I don't recommend it. I don't want you to do it. That is what it comes down to. Again, I'm not directing that at anybody in particular. I'm just saying, everything can every piece of knowledge you get can be used for good or bad. I'm recommending you don't use it for anything nefarious, I suppose. And spam's just terrible. Nobody likes getting spam. I know it. Well, I don't know. I took your advice with the slider, but I turned it into something that fades in and out. That's really cool. That sounds really cool. I hope it comes out well. All right. So, let me just verify. All I did was I commented out the cancel. I want to see if this saves my user list now when I close. That. Right. I'm going to run this. Okay, now you need JSON for a comment section. What's the JSON for? I'm not sure I understand what JSON has to do with that. For a comment section, you probably need a database. Sometimes, depending on your website and what you're doing, a lot of them will include a database you can use for a comment section or for a forum. But yeah, you can't really just do that. That's something that you have to have interaction with the server for, because it has to save all that information. I can save usernames and comments. Okay, so you have that in place. So then you need, I guess, JSON to pass information between pages. I should have cleared. I closed this out last time. So this is starting back up. Okay, there we go. Oh, yeah, I didn't add any messages. Yeah, the JSON's really good at compacting information and getting it all into one variable that you can pass between pages, which then you can use to decode and use like a kind of like a class, which is really cool. I haven't actually used it on web pages, but I've used it in my Java program. All right, so anyway, it's picked up. Let's just make sure we've picked up a couple of people here. Welcome to the stream, people. If you haven't been here before, I appreciate you watching. Okay, so it's picked those up. Let's just make sure it's functioning. I'll ask it for my points, even though it hasn't. Yep, 21, which is one more than I had in file. Yep, there it goes. It prints it up. Give that a couple seconds before I close it, because there is a 5-second limit in terms of how often a bot can send messages through. They don't want you to go in and just 1,000 messages all, which is a good idea because people will do that. In fact, that's probably why they have it. Somebody probably did that. All right, so that's long enough. Close it out. Hey, C# guy, thanks for following. I haven't actually used C#. How is it? Is it like C and C++? Closed. Let's clear this screen. Close it and set the Java virtual machine. And then let's open my folder and didn't do it. Weird. Huh. Maybe I'm thinking about, oh no, because this needs to run every time you close the bot. It needs to run anyway. You shouldn't have to wait for the bot to save everything in order to do this. I don't understand why this isn't functioning. So I've got this. This is what I'm trying to do, but I'm trying to do this down here. I wonder if this is actually saving it to like the wrong. Didn't even put everybody in there. Oh, that's right. That's the backup. I'm losing my mind. All right. I'm declaring the wrong thread? No? I mean, this is strange because I'm kind of expecting it to at least dump the wrong viewers to. Not even doing that. It's true. just backup.txt. It's not hard coded in here. Maybe I can just run timer tab. Okay. So C# guy says, yeah, C# and C and C++ are unrelated, but C# is the only language out of those I've used, and it's very similar to Java. It makes sense. It's actually, I think, what was it? It started coming out in 2003, I think it was. It's been a while. I think it came out around 2003, and Microsoft wanted to create a version of Visual Studio that merged all of its languages, like C and Visual Basic. Those are the two big ones. And so they created C# so you didn't have to write C++, which, I mean, really, C++ has a lot of similarities to Java as well, so they're probably all very close. And I haven't used C#. I have used a lot of C++. I was curious if you knew the differences, but no, that's cool. I actually would like to use that at some point too. I might even, after I'm done this, I might even go to make a game and specifically do it in C# just so I can get some experience with it. Having a weird experience with this right now. So let's see. This is I think it's called a timer task. Let's look at this. Timer. So it's just timer. So Java timer. The official docs. So there's schedule task timer task, which is okay. So that's what I've got. Action to be performed by run certain schedule execution time. Cancels this timer. Cancels. Okay, that's good to know. I should have known that. Discarding any currently scheduled class, but okay. So I've got this here, and I had this, so that would have stopped my thing from running. It would have done it immediately. C# guy says, I just started learning Visual Basic for a course I'm doing. It's the language they use. I don't know. I've used it. I used it pretty extensively for a while. One of my I went to a college that had co-ops, and one of the co-ops I was in, working exclusively in Visual Basic. It's okay. There's a reason they teach it to people who haven't learned a programming language yet. It's relatively easy to learn, but really that should just make the classes a little easier for you because you're used to dealing with stuff that's a lot harder, a lot more specific. Like, it's great. You can take a variable. You don't have to tell the programming language what the variable is. You can say x equals 21 in quotes, let's say. So it's a string, not a number. And then you can add that plus another number, and it just does it. It doesn't care. If I'm remembering correctly, because it's been so long, nothing is specifically typed. It's a joke. I kind of feel I'm not trying to insult people who use it. It does a lot of great things very quickly, especially for people who don't know how to program particularly well. And if all you're trying to do is get something that like works and functions, and you're trying to do it really quickly, it's great for that. But it's a lot of caveats, and it's not as efficient. It's not compiled. It's a lot of negatives to it too, of course. So yeah, it's a lot like C#. It's got all these weird little quirks to it that make it easier and at the same time a little more annoying because you'll be doing things very, very carefully, and it doesn't care. You're painting with a broad brush. It's like trying to paint a wall with brushes. That's what you need for C++ and C# probably. All right, so instead of schedule, my window lost it. All right, instead of schedule, can't I just tell it and run? Oh, okay. So I bet cancel actually like discards the timer, so I can't even use it again. So what if I do this instead? What if I purge? So that'll take the current task that I have that's running every 10 minutes and go, no, stop. Excuse me. And then I schedule this new task to run right away. And then I can have it wait a while. I don't know exactly how long, and then I can cancel it and allow my program to close. I bet. Okay. Yeah, I didn't realize that cancel actually terminates the timer, so it's probably not even ticking in the background anymore. But purge, I suspect purge will just clear it. Bot says hello. Always a good thing. I didn't clear my turn. Oh no, I did. Fantastic. All right, so we're gonna let this run for a second here, or rather, a couple minutes, because I want to make sure it's picked up some new people. Like it's only got these 4, and well, technically Dagonbot isn't in my current viewer list, so he's not loaded. I would rather have it pick up at least one other person. and anytime Dagonbot says hello, you don't have to say hello back. It's not aware of you at all. It's not looking for hellos and heys and highs. It's just it looks for like any good robot, it needs a task. Let me give it a task here and ask it to tell me how many points I have. There it is. Okay. So it picked up a bunch of new people, which is fantastic, because now I'm going to give it another couple seconds. Just printed that message out. And then I'm going to, although actually, once at least one no message is found has shown up, it should be able to do this and say goodbye to the channel. Starting backup complete. That is good news. I wanted to see that. Please, please, please. All right. Check that out. That is all of the people who were watching when the bot closed. Or at least all the people that it received. And as we can see, it's actually got different points values for the people that I had set in here ahead of time. Like these are the 3 that were in here before the bot started up, and the rest of them are new. So that's fantastic. These 3 have incremented by 1 point, and everybody else has gotten at least. So question asked by C# Guy, have you ever made any Android apps? No, I have not. I'm sort of debating about what to do after this, and some sort of phone app is definitely high on the list, or rather a phone game, to be specific. I'm not sure what engine I can use for that and what language I can use for that. I know there's one. I'm gonna look it back up again because I'm not thinking about it all that hard. I think it's called ClickFusion 2.5. Is that it? ClickTeam Fusion 2.5. This is the engine that they used to make. Specifically, I got this from Five Nights at Freddy's. This is the engine they used for that, and supposedly you can compile it into all sorts of, the 2 main phone types. Love to make phone games, but I'm not sure what to do game art-wise. I am in the same boat, to be completely honest. I am a total art noob. I'm terrible. I can probably do a little bit of pixel art. But to be honest, since at least for my stream, the focus of my stream is programming, I would even make one just with shapes, just to make sure I can get it to function right, and then I might hire an artist if it looks like that's an option to, give me something that isn't a triangle. I need a person, and then go from there, because my stuff would all be really basic. But at the same time, that can have its own charm too. How many of those great games out there are actually squares and triangles and circles? I mean, there's a ton of them that are really simple. You can do a lot with them. It depends on what you're going for. Can't believe how long that took me. I feel so stupid. Oh man. All right, so that's that. Let's clear this, close this, reset the Java virtual machine to make sure it doesn't keep running in the background. And then I need, unfortunately, I'm going to do this for now with Java sleep function. I never knew there was a programming category. Here we are. It's not a very highly used category. There are a couple of really popular programmers who I don't remember his name exactly right, so I'm gonna probably mangle this, but I think there's Vlambeer. He made the game Nuclear Throne. He's typically, or at least when he's programming, he's typically in his channel in the programming section. So if you've played Nuclear Throne and you want to check him out programming it, give him a follow. I think it's Vlambeer. Don't quote me on that. That's about his name, if not exactly. He's usually got a big stream, and it goes pretty quick. I've seen some other people with a couple hundred viewers programming, which is really cool. It's kind of like a niche-ish, that word thing. As my wife laughs in the background. It's something that you have to want to learn in order to watch. It's not something that people just go, I'm bored, let me watch somebody go type some words into a program. Like I said, I do plan on making games after this. If I can get my game on Steam or like an iPhone store or the Android store, that'll help. Because that way, every time the game starts up, it'll say, hey, you can watch me live on Clutter of Cats. Twitch. But we're not there yet, obviously. This is the first kind of task I wanted to do. It's been interesting. It's been fun. I've learned a lot of programming that I've forgotten. There's still plenty I'm no good at. But we're getting there. Public class void main. Oh man, I hate 3 lines for a for loop. You just do that? Main declare interrupted exception. This is an exception that sleep throws when a thread interrupts the current thread while sleep is active. Since this application has not defined another thread to cause the interrupt, it doesn't. Or if I do that, let's try it without it. So I should be able to do this. This will give my save state, Hope, 4 seconds to complete its viewer backup. That should be enough even for like 100,000 viewers. Can't imagine it taking longer than that, because this is, and we're talking about a computer that can do millions of things a second. It'd be weird for it not to be able to do that. So this should schedule the task, which would run 100 milliseconds, so a tenth of a second after it's scheduled. Never run again. And then it'll sleep for 4 seconds. This part will sleep for 4 seconds. This thread should continue running in the background. And then it'll cancel all tasks, close it out, and that way you don't have to worry about it running in the background in the event that you are a bad programmer. No. Oh, nuts. I was hoping I could skip that. But apparently, Java is just too smart for me. I hope I can do this. Isn't exactly my function, but it's yeah, it's not gonna like that. Cannot override because it's not gonna throw that exception. Okay. Nuts. C Sharp guy says I'm gonna go. I'll check your stream out again soon. I appreciate that. I stream Mondays and Wednesdays, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm usually on Saturdays as well, sometime in the afternoon, starting around 3. Not every Saturday. We do get busy. It's a bad way of saying that. We do have plans pretty frequently. I should say, I totally said that just to get her to sigh. But thank you for stopping by. Thank you for following. I do hope to see you again soon if you're still here. Okay, so thread.sleep in this case does not function because I've got a function here that I didn't make that I can't throw a specific error on. So that's not going to work. You have a lot of reading ahead of you for compiler errors, exception handling, threading. But this will do what you want. Time unit? I've never even heard of that. Yeah, that's true. I wonder if I can just do this. Instead of having the function do it, you just do it here. Huh, okay. You can do a try catch. I don't think I've covered this. It's a pretty simple idea. If you're not sure if your code is going to error, or if you have code that needs to error in a specific way, like thread sleep, you can wrap it in a try catch. So what happens is it's going to try this code. It's going to try this code here. If an error is thrown, that error is going to be caught here, and it's going to execute the code in this. So in this case, it's going to try thread.sleep. If it errors and it throws interrupted exception, it's going to, it looks like, interrupt the current thread, which probably terminates it. But that compiled. So I think, I tried that. Yeah, okay. And then I restructured it a little, so I had to compile. All right. So run this again. Second, Dagonbot says hello to the channel. Look at that. All the viewers that were in there before, and they're loaded without the save state. What I'm thinking is once I get the interface going, which is coming up, actually. I'm not sure when exactly. I'm debating what to do next. You'll have the option to load the viewer state from the backup file. But not yet. I'm going to wait for it to increment again, which see if it picks up things and back up. Get to that point, which is fine because it takes so long for the join messages to arrive that it's actually better to wait that time. There it goes. All right, so here it flagged everybody as to whether or not they were watching. We did just see C# guy leave, so that's good. It flagged him as not watching. Oh, and hey, check this out. A couple of people I recognize. Inodani, welcome back. And I don't think I've seen you before. Capitalist Pickled Pig's Feet, welcome to the channel. Sorry for calling you out if you just wanted to lurk. I'm my bot reads the channel and sees who's there and prints it out to my terminal, so I kind of get to see all that. Good. Backup happened. So I should be able to check this out. Here is my viewer list, and here's the backup list, and we can see because the backup list hasn't run since it picked up the new people, that here they are. We're not in that last list. Good. Good, good, good. Inodani lurks menacingly. That is... I'm not threatened at all. I apologize. How annoying would that be? I've seen channels that do that. They'll have a bot that as soon as you enter, it just says hello. That sounds so obnoxious to me. Like, it was obnoxious to me, actually. I was not a fan. Because sometimes you just want to pop into a channel. You don't even want to say hi. You just want to see what the person's doing because they're playing some game you like watching. And you know, you'd go in and go, "Welcome to the stream! You've earned so many points for joining! Isn't that great?" And it's like, I just wanted to see what you were playing. I didn't want a big hello. Looks like fun to work with. Xtria says that's great. Looks like it's fun to work with Twitch bots. Really, it comes down to, personally, I think it's fun to program. To put it simply, it's great to take what was a blank file and change that into something the computer can read and do something with. I mean, what we're seeing now is the result of all the work that I've done up till now. And I love it. I really do. It's been great. Just to see the results of that hard work is fantastic. But, you know, not to everybody. Programming is a very weird way of thinking of things, because you need to take whatever your big problem is and you break it down into tiny little pieces, and you make all the little pieces, and then you start like drawing lines between them and connecting them, and then at the end, you know, you've got one piece of information that'll bump between all of them. You've got a program. Oh, Inodani has started work with PerkBot the other day. Congratulations! I hope you enjoy it. It's been great for me. If you're trying to build a Twitch bot, there's a lot of weird things that it doesn't like. It's not PerkBot's fault. It's the way Java has decided. The way Twitch has decided to run its IRC channel. Like, you can't do a who on it, or if you can, you can't. Well, it doesn't always work, and they're working on deprecating it by the sound of it. So, Elite Unit says programming is like owning a country, and you can shape it by yourself. Inudani says something I completely agree with. One of my favorite things too is replacing bad code with good code, especially when the bad code was somebody else's. Yeah, there's nothing like taking it's like taking a bad engine, an engine that's rusted over and barely running, and just stripping all the junk away and putting all new parts in, and then getting to turn the key and hearing the whole thing go on. Not that I've ever built an engine, but I imagine it's the same kind of feeling behind it. Like, program is like an engine, because you are taking information and you're flowing it through exactly where you want it, just like you're taking energy out of the gasoline, turning it into whatever the heck or you're turning it into physical energy. It's that same kind of mental stuff to me. I don't know. Extria says I debate programming math stuff, but I love programming some things. Yeah, of course. It's always exceptions, right? On user list, yeah. Yeah, on user list doesn't fire in. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I should correct that. On user list fires, it only returns yourself. Isn't that fun? So, just to show you real quick, on join, at least from my testing, is what you can use to get everybody in the channel. You just have to wait about 30 seconds. Once it hits about 30 seconds, maybe a minute, it fires for everybody that's currently in the channel, which is one of the reasons I'm waiting that minute. Yeah, isn't that great? Also, you should tell me whatever your Twitch bot's doing so I can take all the functionality and put it in mine. Not really. I mean, you can do whatever you want. I of course don't mind at all, and I'm here to help no matter what. So, but yeah, on join and on part, on part in this case meaning leave, will fire whenever someone joins or leaves a channel. I do try. My intention behind this bot is to try and make it as inclusive as possible. So I'm not specifically going to target anybody's functionality, but I'm going to try and add as much functionality to this thing as possible. And it's it is what it is. So I'm not trying to steamroll anybody. I'm not trying to replace anybody's bot. There's a lot of good bots out there. There are a lot of very specific bots, and mine might actually be like trying to shoot mice with an elephant gun by the time I'm done with it, because I'm trying to make it a whole inclusive stream helper. But it's obviously not there yet. I think one of the things I'd like to do, just as like a preview of one of my ideas, if I can get the SQL running, I'm thinking I can actually add in channel tracking in terms of title, hopefully game. Not sure how if I can get those or not. And then third one, viewer count. So that way you can actually look, and then it'll track it by hour. So you can actually look at when your channel is doing the best. Like if you're playing League of Legends and you have 5 viewers, and then you swap over to Left 4 Dead, let's say, and you jump up to 50 viewers, you could see that and maybe even have it graphed in terms of numbers. So that's one of my ideas. I've got others too. Like I still want to do gambling and raffling. In fact, those are probably up next. We're starting those on Wednesday, most likely, and then the user interface, because I think not every bot does an actual GUI to it. They just kind of you just kind of set some settings in a file and then it runs. So having an actual graphical user interface so you can click on buttons, and see the results of like how many people have joined your raffle, how many tickets have been bought, what's the chance of any one person winning. Like I can actually display that in real time. Oh man, that's fantastic. For Inodani's bot, his first functionality is going to be what's that called? Exclamation point hug. That's fantastic, man. That really is. I love cute things like that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you want me to add that, I mean, really, what you can do is it's especially if it's just like bot hugs you back or something like that. You could do if message and then this equals ignore case to make sure that if people type in all caps, half caps, whatever, hug, and then you can use sender and you can just build a string that says, Dagonbot hugs you back, something. The UI should be all IRC based, like a command line. I'm a Unix geek. I have a long history with Linux and Unix, but you know what? I'd prefer buttons in all honesty, because as much as I love being able to type out commands when I need them and knowing what those are, I'm trying to make this appeal to everybody. and not that they can't learn it, but they probably don't want to. I mean, you really, and it's funny because we could actually even tie this back into some game design. You want to make things as easy for people to learn and get into as possible. And then maybe what you could even do is have a multi-tabbed program. So you have buttons, 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 and then on the last one it's a blank pane, and it says enter command. And then that's your terminal. So that people who are really into it could then do, points add 5 username there instead of going through the UI if they really knew what they were doing. That's my thought. By no means does anybody have to do what I think. But that's kind of my take on it. I like things to be easy. I like people to be able to use them. I took a class in graphical user interfaces and tracking like how many clicks it takes for someone to do things. So I kind of always have that in the back of my mind. Hard for me to kind of divorce that. But don't get me wrong. I mean, if I want to find out my IP address, I totally open up a command line. I know you can go through all the lists and use it, but it's just faster for me to do it that way. Yeah, if I want to check networks. All right, so we got the viewer list saving. We got it loading. That's good. That took me way longer than I expected because I didn't realize cancels a timer. I guess this is totally my fault. And purge is what I wanted because I just wanted to clear it out. So that's good. So let's do some planning. Inodani says, my favorite apps are things that show you the guts under the buttons. Yeah, I always like seeing how things work. I do this here? Let's actually do it in the program. Okay. Let's put all the notes at the top. This still applies because the raffles aren't done. Option for viewer storage. All right, it's currently in JSON, so we can delete. Implement a thread every 10 minutes. That is done. All right. So let's talk raffles, and let's do /gambling. Okay. So this needs to be stream owner can start with raffle or gamble. Takes, what are the different variables we need? We need point cost, total tickets. Anything else? Might just be those two values. Like you could say you could do 1 and 5, and that would be you can buy up to 5 tickets at 1 point each. That should be all it takes. And then for gambling, I would think gambling could be the same actually. You could buy tickets and they have a point cost. Okay, so those are the basic notes. Those are the most basic functionality. So we need we're going to have to set the state of the bot for a raffle open or a gamble open. So we're going to have some sort of status. I think we're going to, we let them gamble and and by gambling, I mean, hey, I'm about to go play a match. You think I'll win? Gamble yes or no. Do I need that? Or, like, do I need people to be able to do that at the same time? I'm thinking no. Like, run one at a time. I'm going to go with no. I'm going to go status of the bot, and then I'm going to go none, raffle open, or gamble open. So it's going to be one of those three. Might even use a string just to save the state, just so we can tell what it is really easily. So when you do raffle, it'll open it, and you pass it a bunch of variables. So that sets the state of the bot. While in the correct state, accept user ticket purchases. Oh, point cost total tickets. Options to gamble on. And then allow stream owner to close the raffle. / gamble. Reset bot status. Yeah, and Adani, I agree. Gambling multiple categories at once would be confusing to the players. I agree. Like, if you have a raffle and gambling going on at the same time, it's just maybe we should allow it, but it should be like an option or something. So, later is really what I'm thinking. If we need it, then that might be something that comes after the code's released and people are actually using the bot in the first place. I think betting 2 on that would be safe. So the bot status. Okay. So I know one bot you would do like Inadani gave the example !bet Dagenham wins loses. Some bot the one bot I'm most familiar with, at least, you would do bet 2 because the gamble's open. So just and let's actually walk through all this as an example. So as the stream owner, I would do gamble open, and then let's say let's do 1 and 5, and we'll do points per ticket, number of tickets. Gamble open 1 5, and then I actually like the way you wrote that, in all honesty. And then let's do win lose. That's the stream owner would type. So then a regular user would come in here and say they would gamble, and then this is see what and this is what even. Yeah. The way you have it is the way I kind of want it to be, because what the bot that I've seen does, it doesn't take tickets, it just takes total points. I like the idea of it all being tickets, though. And I would then say I want to bet five tickets, which in this case would be 5 points, and two being the option. So if this went blarg. I could do 2, I could do 3, I could do 4. But it doesn't even confirm, which is something I want to get rid of. So in this case, I agree. I think this should be specific. Instead of putting in 2, you would do gamble 5, lose. You have to type that out, which is a little annoying. And maybe the option should be there. Like if you want to type in 2 instead, lose, and this way you can look at that and go, I know what he's betting. I know why he's betting it. I don't know why. Because he's a dick. But I know what he's betting just by glancing at it. And then there should be something like Innerdice suggests options. That should probably just be a general thing. But maybe like gamble list, maybe, or gamble options, and that way it'll print them out again. And then let's do raffle, which will be the same. Raffle, open. Oh, and then gamble, close, lose. Let's just do that. So that way that person won. So gamble, open. Let's just do the same thing. 1 point each, 5 tickets. I wonder if I should even put the words in there. And of course, again, this is all stuff that can be done with the graphical user interface. So you can just type in, push button for raffle. But not there yet. We got to do the interface first for that. So raffle open 1-5, and then I would do, what would a user do? They do maybe just raffle 5. I kind of like that actually. Forget how the one I've seen works, but this makes sense to me. And then raffle close, and let's owner. Let's actually type all this out, just so we can tell what specifically is for the owner. Actually, that's not a tab. Okay, and then user. I'm not going to hard code the maximum ticket 5. 5's just what's coming to mind. It's a good number. And then let's add in and then the bot confirms ticket purchases. My worry about the bot confirming a ticket purchase, is that that's going to start spamming the channel. Because as soon as you open a raffle, everyone starts going, how many points do I have? I need to check how many points I have to see how many tickets I can buy. Or, maybe I don't want to spend all my points. But at the same time, I do kind of want the bot to say, you got a ticket. You got X tickets. Let's do that. The bot confirms ticket purchases in point requests. That way it's not spamming it any extra. It's just saying, like, to use this as an example, like let's say I have 45 points. I buy 5 tickets at 1 point each. It would say I have 40 points with 5 stored in tickets. I like the sound of that. All right, so reset bot status. If raffle announce the winner, if gamble, is that divvy or is divvy 2 the, I realize it doesn't, but divvy. Yeah, divvy. Divvy out points between people that joined according to how many points they placed into, by how many points they gambled by a percentage. Divide is also correct. Yeah, the first feature of the bot being the batch mode kind of has to be the way you do things. Otherwise, you'll get locked up. And if you send more than 6 messages in 30 seconds, I think, it's something along those lines, your bot gets banned for 8 hours. They do not undo it. It's just, it cannot communicate for 8 hours. So, batch mode messaging is a necessary thing. But yeah, this way, so what this is saying here is that if I gamble on a win or a loss, and I gamble 1 point, somebody else gambles 100 points, or let's do 99 points, and on the win, people gambled 100 points total. I would only get 1%, so I would get 1 extra point, while the other person gets 99 points. I guess it's probably a bad example, but the percentages remain. If there's 1,000 points, I would get an additional 100. I would get 10 points. Yeah, get 10 points. He would get 990 points. So, you get a percentage of the points that you win, that your side wins, based on how many tickets you purchase. Yes. Makes sense. Okay. Oh, announce a winner. Raffle, pick a random ticket. Now, of course, both of these are going to be done with random numbers. What you would do for a raffle, again, to use 100, let's say 100 tickets are purchased. It's between 5 people, so on average, people have 20 tickets. You would pick a random number between 1 and the total number of tickets, and that would determine who gets picked. Hence the no. I was thinking of. Gambling is percentages. Just like real life. Wink. Although actually gambling in real life is about percentages, and there's a reason casinos exist. And it's not because the percentages are in your favor. All right. I think this covers the basic design description of what I want to do. Stream owner can start one of these 2 off. And you have to give it the right options. And then doing so will set the state of the bot. So it'll lock it in. It'll say, okay, you've got a raffle open, you can't gamble. You've got a gamble open, you can't raffle. One or the other. While in the correct state, accept user ticket purchases. Allows users to have extra commands they don't normally have access to. The bot will confirm tickets purchases in point requests. So, yeah, that makes sense to me. I do really wish that the bot could do a little more, but at the same time, that really spams the channel. Good either. If you want to find out if you bought tickets, you can type in points or gold or whatever the heck people name it. And how about rubles? I always liked that name. That word. I always liked that word. So allow a stream owner to close the raffle gamble, of course. Reset the bot status, which again is all internal, so you don't have to worry about that. The stream owner. Let me update this to possibly mods. So my thought is to make this bot as inclusive as possible. So, well, I'm going to leave this out for now. I'm just going to make this the stream owner for now. My thought, though, at some point in the future is to allow a streamer to give the bot a list of people that have access to some of these commands. So, to give the far out possible thing that might be doable. Let's say you're a really active streamer. You're always playing a game, and you've got enough people that you've always got some kind of giveaway to do. Because there are people that are in that situation. Never seen Carnage, COHH Carnage. His mods to his channel can start raffles whenever they want. They have a raffle. If they have something to give away, they can do it. So my idea is to kind of duplicate that. And you can give the bot a list of users. So this isn't just mods, I guess. A specific list of people that will have access to these functions. So what if you could do raffle open, and then do http://imgur.com/ I don't know, one of their funky things like that. And then what if you could get the bot to then download that link, that picture out of the link, I should say, and then display it on a green screen that the streamer always has up. And so now in the upper right corner of their screen, they now have a picture of the game that's being given away. My thought. No promises, as always. But my thought is to have a part of the GUI that pops out, and it's a green screen window. You can set your OBS to just wipe out the green, or whatever you use. And then, if this happens, if this is something people want, if I can do it, is the other option, is the other thing, of course. You could have trusted people opening raffles during your stream that they can even provide an image for. I hope. I think it's possible. I really don't think it's that big a deal, because I'm positive there are things that allow you to get. Is that actually an image? That allow you to get a picture off a website and download it. The reason you would want to, no, okay. I was hoping it was actually an image, and I get this. The reason you would want to limit this to people is that you don't want any mod doing it. You want to have people that can have the rights to ban and purge and everything, without necessarily the rights to open raffles. And really, it should probably just be more like this. Just the ID of the picture. It'll automatically look to Imgur, or Imgur, whatever the hell the name of that stupid site is. Why can't they just name things what they are? But, again, this is all the way out there. First, this needs to function. I'm thinking next stream Wednesday, we're going to start working on gambling and raffling. And then once those two are done, that is the core functionality of this bot. Once I have gotten it to that point, I think it's time to start doing the optionals. We start doing things like the graphical user interface. After that, look into SQL. So, that said, prize. That actually brings up a good point, though. If it's announce the winner and then winner has to claim prize. I'm going to put a question mark after this. But it's a good idea to have to force the person to type something in. That way they don't walk away and then you never know if they actually wanted whatever the hell they want. I actually do like that idea. And all of these can be turned into options at some point. So I updated this today. So we're coming up on message priorities, which includes our vector of strings and adding things to the top. These two are still options. I'm kind of leaning away from that. The YAML file, I'm positive as to what that is, but I really do like the idea of SQLite, because if people don't have to install a database and actually have that running in the background, you want the winner to be present. And I think ideally, like, because if you're dealing with a bigger stream, and I'm trying to design this with everybody in mind, if you have a bigger stream, you want people to have to type in something specific so that you know they're there and paying attention. And especially with a graphical user interface, you can have that, update that they responded, they have claimed their prize, and then probably even put a link into the thing that allows you to just send them a message. So, all right, SQLite. Here's our basic description of raffles and gambling. A lot of that will be in the message section. Yeah, in fact, basically all of it's going to be through messages. Although I'll probably functionalize a lot of it so it doesn't actually all gum up that function. Owner, user, there's some options there, just some examples. All right, I think this is a good time to take a break for dinner. And by break, I mean, unfortunately, until Wednesday. Slashes. So, thank you for joining, everybody. Hope you guys learned as much as I did. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to ask. I forgot to Twitter today. I am terrible. Actually, I've only missed that, I think, once or twice, so I'm not doing too bad with it. We have a Twitter account. We have a YouTube account. I will upload this video to there. Also, there was one from a couple streams ago I missed, so I'm going to do that one too, because it failed to upload for some reason. Fine. But yes, it is dinner time. It is after 7 here, 7:30 p.m. I will be back on around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Wednesday. I will probably also be streaming Saturday. And those dates, let me get those dates real quick, just curious. That is the 12th and 15th of November. All times are in Eastern Standard Time because I am on the East Coast. Yeah. So, hope to see you again, and I hope you enjoyed, and like I said, I hope you learned as much as I did. I will see everybody later.